all about that triangle. The difference between a triangle and not a triangle is that it's an angle and not a straight. Okay? Now you can finish a triangle where your heads are parallel, your bodies are parallel, but you better have it real deep and locked in and understand that your legs are still at an angle. Okay? But when I want to set up a triangle, you see how my head is at an angle? This is what creates the triangle. This foot, okay, is connected to my knee as just a marker. But what I like to do is grab my shin, okay, so that his head is controlled and controlling this head here. When you can move your hips enough, you can lock these triangles without even pulling head. So typically you'll pull ahead, you'll grab the shin. If you notice, I'm not grabbing it here because his head can move. I want to grab my shin, so here, I want to grab it there. Because for me, the priority is to keep his head down and honestly, not as much that arm. Some say bring that arm across first, but when you begin to bring this arm across, you let them lift the head up. Because the defense for the triangle is to lift the head and look up, keep looking up, just look up, right there. You see how it unlocks it as a triangle. So as I lock this here, okay, I want to be at an angle. Now I can lift the hip, maybe take an arm lock right there, push it across, and then I'm on my side at an angle. Now, this right here is very important. If you're just locking at this, I'm not really making this gap smaller. This foot should be behind the knee, not here on the calf. When you reach for your foot across the back, okay, the one that's controlling his posture, you need to go on the inside, less on the outside. Because here, if you need to unlock it, you're stuck. Here, if I need to unlock it and move my hip one more time to get a better triangle, I can. As I bring this over, I can point my foot, bring my knee to his shoulder, and then pull the toes back. Now again, this motion right here will not make this triangle where his head arm is any smaller. But this curve will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve and I'm going to flex my thighs and it'll finish. Here, even if I flex my thighs and constrict like a bow constrictor, it's not going to finish. But this will, because you see the knee and it's squeezing. If your foot is dangling and it's loose, you will never finish any triangle. I see triangles being done like this. This is just a foot lock on yourself waiting to happen, and that's really embarrassing when you foot lock and pop your own foot on a triangle. So, as you're here, you can point, bring it over, pull it back. And now from here, I want to bring this knee in, and this foot curves out. So I'm lifting, and I'm squeezing the thigh. Does that make sense, guys? So you have to be able to get this triangle as an angle, not as a tri-straight. So as we're here, good, yeah, turn this way. He's moving that arm around, whatever, maybe I go in the bicep, because you need to kind of catch the bicep. Because oftentimes what's going to happen is, he's almost stuck in a triangle. Him knowing that, they sometimes want to swim that left arm in. If he swims it, sit in this way, yeah, go swim it on into my foot. Then it's a triangle, fairly easy. He will bring it over, and then you're able to begin to isolate that arm and begin to lock the triangle, okay? Here I lock it just because I already understand how to move my hips properly, so I don't need to, in essence, pull the head because I could just move it in. But for you guys, when you are here, what you're going to do is this hips, knee, you're going to bring this across here, and goes to the shin, to the head. Now your left foot goes to the mat, and my left knee stays connected to my heel. My heel, my toes, this is called spurring, okay, like a spur. I'm not pulling into me to put pressure on this knee. I'm pulling in the direction of the heel. The control is posture here, and I'm moving the hip, shoulder, hip, shoulder. So I'm turning on my right side, okay? But I'm still keeping this connected. Now from here, I can begin to lock it real deep. This arm sticking out, I can Kimura him, whatever maybe. I can bring this across gently because there's a lot of pressure on the shoulder here. And then from here, as my toes pull back, the hole gets smaller. And hug my leg, squeeze, I can pull his head, and finish. Okay? So when you get this angle here, okay, you need to think hip, shoulder, and you're pulling them forward. So as you throw your left leg over, you can point the toes, but you lock it in right here. Because what happens here, you're just doing this. That triangle is not getting any smaller. When you curve it out this way, that gets smaller, and then you flex your thighs to where you constrict everything as you're crunching in. Whether you're crunching, pulling the head, or you're crunching, pulling in. Does that make sense, guys? Try that.